talking about it a lot. If you need the recipe for arrows, you can get it from the wiki, sotawiki.net. You can also grab a direct link to the wiki out of the game by typing /sotawiki space arrow. So I will do that real quick, just like that, and it'll open up a page, and I will show you the page that it opens here in just a moment. Give me a second to get it properly lined up. And wiki. That's not it. Oh well. There we go. So, SotA Wiki essentially has very intuitive interface for crafting that matches up with the in-game interface, which you'll see here in a minute. But you can actually work with the table for the items, or you can just read on the side. So you can see here what is made, and if you don't know how to get something, you can just click on it. So right on the table, I'm going to click on the board, and it's going to take me to the wooden board, and I'm going to see what I can do to get a wooden board in the different recipes down here. So that is the SotA Wiki. Once you have the recipe in your book, it's a lot easier. You can actually go right up to the crafting table, and inside of your recipe book, you can double-click on the icons, and it'll place everything you need on the table, and you hit craft, and then you take it back. So the speedy crafting process is what you're seeing right here. It's to use the list mode inventory and not the immersive inventory. It just automatically drops everything on and pulls it off. Alright, so we also need to do arrowheads. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the smelting table here and put the arrowhead recipe on. Make a few of these here. Now, the crafting system has evolved a few times. They haven't been clear with crafting on if they're going to implement what I consider a minigame, but if they're going to implement quality of items based on interaction during the crafting process. But they've hinted at it a couple times, and people have asked for it. So there's a chance that this process may become a lot more complex. There's a chance it might remain the same. Alright, well there's a few arrow lengths. And move these over to arrowheads. And I believe that is blacksmithing if memory serves me correct. Yes, it is. I'm just going to make as many arrowheads as I have the blanks to make. It is important to note that the wiki lists the item out of the recipe book. When I originally added these to the wiki, I did it based on the crafting table, and I figured that would be a little too difficult for people to catch because some people use immersive crafting. So I went ahead and changed all of those recipes to match the recipe book. I imagine that over time this is going to match up. In Release 2, they had a lot of these mismatches that they fixed in Release 3, 4, and 5. This is the first release, I think, that we've been able to make arrows all the way through. So I imagine it's just something that it's not quality control wise, it's not done because it's a pre-alpha. I don't think they're going to have these names differ between the recipe book and the crafting table. So, but yeah, if you're looking for the recipe, it's aerospace head, not arrowheads. So, just as a heads up there. So if you notice, I've had to kind of go back and forth between a few different tables. This is the great part about crafting right now, is that you can't do everything in the game, and you're going to have to rely on different people, and the best stuff is made by people. So they're making the crafting system very, very, very community driven. They're making it something that a lot of people doing it together is going to be a benefit, because if you have somebody who's just great at carpentry and has all the carpentry stuff, they're still not going to be able to make all the stuff unless they're friends with a blacksmith, because as you just saw, I needed the arrowheads, which were made by a blacksmith. So if I'm the best carpenter in the world, I still wouldn't be able to make this arrow without having a blacksmith buddy to get the arrowheads from. Makes a lot of sense, and they are going to give us the ability to maximize our skill in multiple different areas, but they have said that no one person is going to be able to master everything. So there have been multiple devs that have said both ways, hard cap and soft cap. So as to how they're going to stop us, I have no clue. But the technical director, Chris Spears, says a soft cap, and the executive producer, Star Long, says a hard cap. So take it for what you want. There is going to be some sort of a cap, and it's going to make it to where no matter how much you play, you're not going to be able to do everything. But yeah, essentially, that's how we make arrows, and that just made 125 arrows. So not too shabby.